question, what do you celebrate? Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening so you don't miss any future episodes. Celebrations, are you ready? Let's get started. You know, lots of us are pretty good at celebrating in our personal lives. Just as an example, in the United States, the birthday party industry was worth about $10 billion in 2020. And parents apparently spend on average between $314 and $500 per child's birthday party. Now, why do I share all that? Well, on the day this is being released, it's my birthday. But this isn't about me. It just gave me this idea to talk about celebrations. Listen, we're pretty good at celebrating in our personal lives, but we're not always as good at celebrating at work. Do we celebrate enough and in the best ways at work? That's a question worth thinking about. And I know that lots of people have sort of mixed thoughts and feelings about celebrations at work. And so the questions that I have for you today will help you unpack your feelings and think about how to use celebrations effectively and appropriately in your workplace. Here are the questions. What does your culture value? The things that are valued in your organization and in your organizational culture should be clues about things that you might want to celebrate. If you're an organization that's very focused on individual accomplishments, then you could celebrate those. If you're very focused on team accomplishments, then you might celebrate progress or results on projects, just as a couple of examples. Next is, what is connected to your biggest organizational objectives? What is your organization trying to accomplish? And can we celebrate progress towards those things? That would be a useful thing to consider. That would make the celebrations more meaningful when they are tied to either culture or organizational objectives. But that's not the only thing to consider. What do people, your people, the people in your organization, what do people want to celebrate? I mean, you have an organizational culture and you have people in your organization. Like, what are the things that they want to celebrate or would find value and be interested in celebrating? Why not ask them? And while you're asking them, why not ask, how would they like to celebrate? What does that look like? And maybe how we celebrate looks different when we're not always together. We're in a distributed or remote or hybrid workplace. When and how would we like to celebrate? Next question, sort of back to the organizational side, how could celebrations extend or support our culture? Not only what does our culture value and therefore what to celebrate, but how could the celebrations that we choose move us in the direction of the culture that we aspire to? And lastly, what would make celebrations more meaningful? Ultimately, this is the most important question. All of the other questions basically lead to this. If we're going to celebrate, it should be something that matters, right? And if we can find out what those things are from our business perspective and from the individuals on our team's perspective, we have a much better chance, right? Celebrations can be a thing. They can be informal. Chances are, in your organization, you could probably use more of each. And remember, a simple, heartfelt thank you is a form of celebration too. Let me close with today's remarkable reminder. When you make celebrations more meaningful, they become more valuable. I hope you found this episode useful and insightful, and I hope it leads you to creating more celebrations. But I also hope it leads you to making sure you come back next week for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.